Alright, welcome back, y'all. So, day number 41 on to main gaining. It is our heavy leg day, which means we're going to have squats today, along with a couple leg accessory movements and a little bit of some other work. But, we're going to go ahead and start today off doing glute kickbacks, start getting the hips warmed up, getting the glutes a little warmed up, and get them ready to squat. And then with that, we also ordered a squat belt to start kind of playing around with that, see if it helps with the lower back stability, having something to brace into, and see if it helps any at all. I know I don't squat, all that heavy, but we are trying to go ahead and, work around, I guess, some sort of pre-existing issues or something that we're trying to correct, maybe some sort of injury, not quite sure, but if it helps, I'm going to take it, because anything that we can do to help increase the load put on the legs, that's all that matters really, right? So if the legs get a heavier load put on them and I can still hit the reps, then it doesn't matter what other assistance we're doing, because we're getting a bigger stimulus. It's kind of like, wearing wrist straps on your back day. We're not training our grip strength, we're training our back. And if our grip strength is given up before our back gets tired, your back's going to have a worse workout, right? You're going to get less reps, less load, less volume. But if you wear wrist straps and you can increase your workout by another 3, 4, 8 reps maybe, depending upon the movement, you're getting that much more stimulus on the muscle. So why would you limit your back by just how strong your fingers are? It doesn't make sense. Your fingers are little. They're a little muscle. Sure, you want a big grip strength over time, so you should train to increase it. But once you hit a certain point, having a better grip strength isn't helping your back work out any. So I'm going to try to use the same approach. And see if it helps my squat any. Because back when I did squat pretty heavy, I was wearing a belt. So maybe that's been my big deal for the last couple of years with squatting, because I haven't worn a belt and I used to. So that could be the whole problem right there. But I've got 2 more sets on the right leg to do. I'll get my left leg knocked out, and then we'll go ahead and move into squats. Alright, so finish up the glute kickbacks. Hips filled nice and warm, glutes filled warmed up. So we're going to go ahead and go into squats. So I just realized I ordered the wrong size squat belt, so my Velcro doesn't reach all the way over. But it is what it is. We'll see if the little latch thingy, or should I say self-locking mechanism over here, is strong enough to hold the belt tight. If it is, cool deal. Kudos to their locking mechanism. If it's not, then we'll just have to wait for the new belt to show up. I just went ahead and reordered one. It's unfortunate that, it's like 35 bucks. Not too horribly expensive, but I swore I ordered a large and I got a medium, but I realized that when I changed the color of it, it changed the size back to medium instead of staying a large. So my bad for not seeing it. I should have checked it, but it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and start our squats out at 95 pounds like normal, work our way up. We are going to do them with the belt the whole time to start getting used to wearing a belt, because I haven't worn one in a very, very long time. So with that, let's go ahead and get these things started, and we'll see how it feels with a belt, because I tell you what, it already feels a little awkward since it's been so long without squatting with one. Alright, doesn't feel too bad. I can kind of feel one leg's driving harder than the other, but that might be because I'm not leaning over as far. Not quite sure. I gotta look at the video to see if I'm staying more upright now, but we will find out. So far, under this lightweight, belt's staying in place. So, we'll see how that goes as we move up. So one of the interesting things about wearing a belt is a lot of people, when you go to breathe in, they kind of like suck their stomach in and like bring their chest up, and it makes your waist really small. But by doing that, you make your lower back more unstable. So the key is to actually, if you breathe in with your nose, it's easier to make it happen, but to push your diaphragm down towards your stomach. So as your lungs expand, it pushes everything downwards, which makes more abdominal pressure, which helps keep your spine aligned. And that's what the belt's helping do, is as you breathe in and everything's trying to press out, it's getting stuck by the belt, and it's just increasing that pressure and pressure. So it then makes the spine, or can help assist the spine, stay more upright and not bend over. And by increasing that pressure and being more vertical, as you drive upwards with your legs, you're less likely to bend over like this with your back, and it's going to stay straight up and help drive that weight upwards instead of kind of folding you like this as you go over. Other than, forgot how tight this thing will really push into your hips and your ribs when you're really putting the brace into it. I'll be surprised if I'm not bruised up tomorrow. But, feels good so far. First two light sets down. Now we'll go to 185 and keep it going. So this will end up being a real telltale here. Getting into 225, how this feels will definitely be able to give me a judge whether or not the belt is making this more comfortable or not. Well, it definitely feels better lower back wise. Strength wise, maybe a little. So not quite sure. So let's see, we're supposed to do 235 for an extra 3. I feel like we could definitely do that. So, ego fashion wise, screw it. We'll add, we'll try to make the jump to 275 and see if we can do it at least once, maybe 2 times. 3 times would be super wicked, but we'll have to find out. Alright, so change up the camera angle here. I want to check for depth, form, so that should be okay for me to do that with. But we've got 275 on here. I haven't squatted this weight for even a single in 3 or 4 months. No, probably longer than that, actually. Like 6 months. So, we're going to find out how heavy this feels right now. Woo! I might have a third in me with that, but kind of got a little blood rushy, and the last thing I want to do is black out 275 pounds on me with no spot. So I'll go back, I'll check the form on that, and we'll get ready to move on to the next movement. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and move into shrugs. It's just 2 sets for failures on these today. It's just or wait, no, sorry about that. Today is 5 sets working up to 225. So we're also going to go ahead and hit them with the belt, see if it helps with the stability of trying to be slightly bent over, and if it takes some of that pressure off my lower back. And if so, that's going to be awesome, because for me, pulling straight up and down like this, it hits the traps, but I actually get more activation being slightly bent over like this, but it puts a lot of load on the lower back doing so. It would be great to be able to do them chest supported, but I don't really have a way to do that. So, we're going to go ahead and start 135, go 185, then 225, and then after that, we're going to hop into a superset of leg extensions and bicep curls. definitely a lot more sturdy, and I can actually feel quite a more, oh man, bit more drive on the shrug itself. Wow, that actually makes a crazy difference. Have I been shorting myself, not freaking training with the belt for the last freaking 2 years, 2.5 years? Oh. Woo! All right. I'm gonna knock out 2 more of those, and then I'll bring you guys back for the leg extensions, leg curls. We'll recap how it felt training with the bench or with the belt today. All right. Whew. I tell you what, I think I've been cheating myself, you know, not training with the belt. Because when I kind of first started working out, I did not use a belt. And then about 1.5 years in, I started using a belt. And I trained with the belt for the next 2 years after that, getting all the way until I broke my arm originally. And I guess I didn't realize how much it helped, because I never not trained with it. And I kind of started using it early enough into my training before I kind of got pretty strong. As a, hey, I don't want to hurt my back, so I'm going to use this as a preventative. And I mean, there was times when I would deadlift and squat without it, but it's normally on like a volume day, and I wasn't squatting super heavy. It was like, you know, at the time I was able to squat 315, 335 for sets of 3. And on the volume days, I'd only squat like 185, 205 for sets of 10. And then deadlifts, I was 465 pound deadlift. But I would, without the belt, just do volume at like 315 normally, maybe 335. And I would just hit that for sets of 10 at the time. Now I can't go anywhere near those numbers. But I'm wondering if that was why I was able to do those numbers and just did not put it together. Because I keep getting up there, but then, you know, I kind of get a little strain and I back down, or I get to where I can't continuously hit the weight and I'm backing down. And I think it's due to a few other factors that are going on, but not specifically with training and how I'm training. But if I was able to do 275 for 2 squats today, in the last 2 weeks I've struggled at 230 to squat it for 3. That's going to tell me that I'm having a bracing issue of some sort without the belt. Whew. Noodly. So, and just now hitting those shrugs, that kind of made all the difference in the way that felt. And I was able to kind of really dial in those traps, not having to focus on keeping myself as stable because it was just kind of there. So, I'm definitely going to train back day and leg days belted. Or should I say those movements? Ugh. Whew. Man, my biceps are still sore from freaking day before yesterday. Ugh. But, so, that means we increased our squat today 45 pounds for just wearing a belt. I'm going to just work back up to 275 on the next heavy day and get that third rep, but either way, we're 45 pounds heavier than we were, so if that's going to be our new for 3, I'm totally okay with that. Because that brings me real close to where I want to be overall for my squat. Which I just, squat-wise, I'm going to be real happy at 315 pounds. So if we can get to where we squat 315 for like 5x3, golden. I'll be totally okay with that. I do want to work on the depth, looking at the video some. Like my knees don't really get that far over my knees. So I don't know if they are far enough over my knee and maybe my stance isn't just wide enough. Or if it's just the way it feels super funny and I got to get more used to it, but just allowing myself to kind of drop further. But the feeling I have from it, the deeper I get like that, the more I feel like I'm falling backwards, like my knees aren't far enough forward to keep that weight like over my ankles. So I got to figure out what's going on there. But other than that, guys, if you haven't trained with a belt, give it a shot. See how it feels, because I tell you what, my back feels a whole lot less strained today. Just as of right now, I'm excited about that. So, with that, make sure you're out there working towards your goals, getting your stuff done, and most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.